Hey there, Danavan Hylton, business, community, and civic leader, simply because I want to ensure that myself personally, my immediate family, my extended family, my community, and the world has the simplest, easiest, most peaceful life as possible. I put those things, those priorities in that order simply because without me spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally present, then the things that I want to see around me cannot happen. So therefore, I have to become my biggest advocate. I have to love myself, and I thank you in advance for doing the same. Ultimately, as I am in the lifestyle and in the business of transforming diverse, developing communities into sustainable communities, be it through employment, recruiting, workforce development, community development, land development, motivational speaking, soft skill training, community engagement for both the public and private sector that want to do a better job of developing new clients or engaging in the community. I really want local residents to understand, those that have a heart and a knack for building up their community, building up their personal life, that there's a difference between commerce and community, or there's a difference between commercial and community. You can have community all day, and those are great things to do, but the reality of the situation is, in a capitalistic society, the community is not truly at its highest peak until you have mastered the commerce or the commercial game, which will require you to connect to certain sectors that you may feel uncomfortable with, or you may have never experienced or connected to at all. But these things must happen. And so you have to, as much as you want to organize, and I say this with humility, I say this as a student myself. So if you feel like there is another approach or another way, or I'm speaking out of a lack of knowledge, please forgive me. And I'm always looking to learn. This is not a one answer thing. This is me. This is what I do as a developer. I stimulate the psyche. I stimulate the energy. So therefore, if I never created this message for you to come back to me with the actual facts, then nothing would have happened. So therefore, all things do work for good, and please give me that. But ultimately, as I'm almost losing my train of thought, without the commerce or commercial mindset, the community will not reach its true peak. And what I mean by commerce or commercial mindset, you first have to focus on earned income. What are you physically bringing? What are you bringing in as far as your physical labor? And that could be anything from actually working to some type of labor for yourself or for someone else. But you have to earn or produce that earned income. And as you produce that earned income, you have to take that earned income and turn that earned income into passive and portfolio income. And if you're serious about what you're talking about or where you're wanting to go as far as changing your community, I'm going to step back and allow you to research passive and portfolio income. Earned income is actually going out there and using your time and actually working to some degree in exchange for money, actually doing something in exchange for money. That could be through sales, or that could be through typing, or whatever labor, hammering, whatever, video editing, whatever that actual labor is. Which means that if you don't actually go out there and do the work, you're not going to make the money. That's earned income. Passive and portfolio income is where you're having your money work for you, where you physically do not have to do any labor. You're actually making money while you're doing something totally different, which then becomes an asset. An asset is something that's is an economic tool that's making money for you without you having to do anything. Passive income or passive portfolio income could be as simple at its minute scale as human capital, meaning, okay, your business is running, but you're not actually earning the income, but you're paying other human beings to do the work so that you can make the money. Even though they're making good money, we pray, ultimately they're working for you as you have taken all the risk as far as the marketing, the branding, and hopefully the insurance and all those things that come with it. You've taken that risk. And you already know when it comes to running a business, most businesses fail within 5 years. So it's a huge risk, and you can go into a lot of debt if you don't actually turn a profit by first identifying what you're good at, what you love to do, what people need, and what people are willing to pay you for. And so this is really not a game. It is a game, but it's not a game that you have to take this seriously. And so my point is, how do you transition from community mind, which is something you always have to have in your heart, which is your foundation, but take your heart and actually put that heart into your mind to actually produce what you're looking to manifest? Well, at the minimum, you can always sell something. You don't have to produce anything, you don't have to manufacture anything. But if you have a product or service that people need and you sell it, there's a great commission in that. And so as you're looking to build your community organization, or you're meeting with the men and women, find out how can we produce the income that we need for ourselves and our organization, for the community, by simply saying, hey, let's sell this. I don't care if it's baked cookies, it don't matter. Sell something that's going to allow you to produce that income that you need. If not, each individual will then need to, as you're meeting, put some type of monetary dollar into the pot. And what I mean by that is, if you're just meeting to meet and just talking and coming up with great strategies that usually don't even get implemented 9 times out of 10, or they're implemented at a very small scale, which is within your immediate group, but never within your community or your environment. If you're going to meet and use that time, at least make your time worthwhile, because again, community in a capitalistic society is really nothing without the commerce or the commercial. So therefore, if you're going to meet, each individual to some degree needs to put some money in the pot, put some money into a escrow account or some type of hat, to where like, okay, well, we met 4 times this month, and in that each person put in $5, and therefore each person donated $20 this month, and we have 10 people in our group. So therefore our organization made $200. That's commerce, that's commercial, for the betterment of your community, because now you can take that $200 and put that money somewhere for it to work for you. Now, again, if you can, get the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. And I pray that I can have a link to that book after this video. But The Richest Man in Babylon, a really great read on how money works and how money can be used to work for you. One of the biggest things I took out of the book, The Richest Man in Babylon, was individuals will take their money and put it in investments that they never have done before. And that's the quickest and easiest way to lose your money. So if you're going to invest your money into a business and a business owner or a business manager that has been doing that business for years and knows how to produce the income, has proven result of producing the income, then that way you know your money's going to the best use. But if you're saying, oh, we're going to start this up, or, oh, this guy, now he's this, and we want to put our money here, we got to get past that. We don't have time for, I say we, society and people with great hearts have to get past the basics of commerce and get to a point where we're truly making our dollar work for us. And that means putting it into places where it's already producing the income. So therefore, all you got to do is collect your return on your investment. Just some things to stimulate the mind, as this is ultimately a conversation of commerce versus community, commercial versus community, and knowing that there is a clear difference. Nothing worse than having someone that's commerce or commercial minded come to your community organization and you don't capitalize on that opportunity because you're so community minded, which is great. But in all things, there has to be a balance. Community, even a nonprofit is a business. A nonprofit is not going to run unless that blood is flowing, and that blood has to be your working capital, going in and out, an exchange of energy at all times. So therefore, even a nonprofit is nothing without the capital. So I thank you in advance for challenging yourselves to change the dialogue within your meeting. When it comes to the fear of all the, well, this person is going to take this idea and we need to make sure we're making money, those things will come. Trust me. If you know my story, those things will come. And if you have a larger faith in your spiritual walk, those things are designed to work for good anyways. So therefore, again, if you're looking to say, well, somebody's going to take from us, when you're meeting with your group, that pot should have already been growing to where you can already purchase the protection that you need to protect your idea or your business or your program. But if you get to a point where time is moving and you have not put into that pot at any point in the last several months, and then we want to do some type of activity that may hinder, the plans, they're gonna always stay stagnant. And I'm just saying, actions speak louder than words, especially when you're in diverse communities. Folks are about action. They want to see, things happening. And that's how you attract people the most, is through the actions. You'll attract more people. And so with the spiritual mindset, which I know we all do have, you'll be able to reach your objectives in the shortest amount of time. So therefore, Danavan Hylton, just throwing out some quick conversation. Is it commerce and community, commercial and community, or is it commerce versus community, commerce versus commercial versus community? You decide. If you felt this information was valuable to you in any way, I thank you in advance for your monetary donation of any size of what you felt this message was worth by clicking the link below or by going to www.cash.me/$E1Connect. www.cash.me/$E1Connect. There's a link at the bottom if you felt this message was of value to you. Self-employed, self-sustaining business. Again, everything has to be earned income in order to make that money work for you. Danavan Hylton, wishing you all the best, congratulating you in advance for all the great things you're going to do in your personal life, your career, and your community, as Hylton Elite Marketing Agency is more than just marketing.